Students, good morning. Today we will discuss regarding single mission scheduling problem. It is the continuation of scheduling. In this concept of scheduling, we have a concept of single mission scheduling problem. The single mission scheduling problem has characterized in the different ways. In single mission scheduling problem, we have a independent and single operation jobs are available at the processing time is 0. The setup time of each job is independent of its position of job sequence. The setup time of each job can be included in its processing time, and the job descriptors are known in advance. One mission is continuously available and is never kept idle when work is waiting. Each job is processed till its completion without break. What it means, what is the meaning of its means, how it is characterized by single mission scheduling. In the single mission scheduling, the single operation job will be available each and every time. The processing time of each and every single job of a single mission scheduling problem time at 0. The setup time of job is independent. Setup time of job is independent of sequence of jobs. The sequence of jobs have more than one job. In that, each and every job has it has an independence. When it comes into the sequence, it will be setup time of each job is included in the process time. That is the meaning of that. And when we are coming into the single mission scheduling problem, the descriptors are known in advance. What are the descriptors? Is nothing but number of jobs. For identification of number of jobs, we have to giving a descriptions like job 1 J1, job 2 J2, job 3 J3, job 4 J4, and so on. Job n job. Like that, we have to be specify the descriptors to identify the jobs. In advance, we have to provide. And one mission has to be continuously available. It has to be never kept an idle. Why means it is a single mission scheduling. That's why we have to be we need a continuously available mission for doing of the work without waiting. And each job is processed till its completion without break. When the process starts without break, it has to be completed. The process has to be complete its completion time. That is the concept of single mission scheduling. And then in the single mission scheduling problem, we have to know some of the notations like processing time, ready time, and due date, completion time, flow time, lateness, tardiness. These are all the terminologies have to be known in the single mission scheduling problem, and the sequence scheduling problems also. Here we have to be know the J will specifies the job. J is the notation for the job, and some other will be there that will be mentioned some other things like T mentions the time, R mentions ready, D mentions due, C mentions completion, F mentions flow, L mentions lateness, T mentions tardiness. These are the terminologies we have to know. What are the meaning of the terminologies? That we will be discuss now. First of all, we will discuss regarding the processing time. The processing time is nothing but the time required for process a job. J. The processing time will be the time has to be taken for completion of a particular job is nothing but the process time of particular job, and how much time is required to complete that job. This will include the process, a whole set time of sequence. And ready time. Ready time, ready time can be denoted with the arch. Ready time is nothing but the time which the job is available for processing. The time a job which available for processing time. And due date. Due date can be mentioned with DJ. Due of the job, like DJ. It is the time at which the job is to be completed. At the time the job is to be completed. Here the due date we have to be already we discussed regarding the due date in sequencing introduction phases. In that due date, when the customer comes to us on that particular situation, they will give us an order. He needs to deliver the tools in particular date. That date is nothing but due date. Here also we will be specifying due date is nothing but the time which the job is to be completed. There we will be considered that sequence will be forward scheduling or backward scheduling. Like that we will be specifying. On the time will be considered backward scheduling. First of all, consider the backward scheduling is the due date. And in the forward scheduling, we will be specified, we will be considered when we are getting the order. Before the due date, we will be complete there, over there. The same way. And completion time, CJ. The time which the job is to be completed in a sequence. The time, the job which the time will completes a job is nothing but the complete time. Some simple performance measures are to be known in the completion time, like flow time, lateness, tardiness, etc. Here, what is the meaning of flow time? Flow time can be mentioned with the notation like Fj. Fj is nothing but the time of job J spends in the system. Time of the job J spends in the system is nothing but the flow time. It has to be simply we will be specifying flow time is nothing but the completion time, the difference between the completion time and ready time. The difference between the completion time and ready time is nothing but a flow time. And lateness. Lateness is the amount of the time which the completion of the job has to be taken in time. J differs from the due date. Simply we will be specifying what is the meaning of lateness means. Lateness is nothing but the difference of completion time, and due date is nothing but the lateness, LG. And next one is the terminology, tardiness. Tardiness, TJ. We will be specifying the tardiness with the TJ. Tardiness is the lateness of the job J if fails to meet its due date or 0 otherwise. By how it means TJ equal to maximum of 0 or Cj minus Dj, or Cj minus Dj means the difference between the completion time and due date, LJ, lateness. Okay, maximum time it will be a 0 or otherwise LJ means that can be taken as a tardiness. Once again we will be discuss regarding the tardiness. The lateness of the job if it fails to meet its due date. If it fails to meet its due date is nothing but tardiness. And here we will have an example. Through this example we will be discussing. For example, here we have a jobs like A, B, C, D, E. And also we will be specifying over here ready time, due date, completion time, flow time, lateness, and tardiness, and also we will be specifying here. And how it will be calculating, if we will be mentioning like RJ, DJ, CJ completion time, all will be specifying with the rough amounts. For the job RJ 10, B 15, C 25, D 30, E 40. The same way for A job, DJ will be 15, B 20, C 30, D 40, E 45. The same way completion time also, A 20, B 25, C 30, D 35, E 40. And here FJ means the difference between the completion time and ready time. In the ready time, the difference will be 10 for the A job, 10 for the B job, 5 for the C job, D for 5 job, and E job there is no flow time and lateness. In the lateness, completion time minus the difference between the completion time and due date. And here for job A, the lateness will be 5. For the job B, lateness will be 5, and for the job is 0. For the job D is -5. There is no lateness. Already it has to be completed. And for E, it is also completed before the without lateness. If we are getting the minus or 0 means without lateness. And TJ is nothing but tardiness. What we will be specifying over there, tardiness means if the job fails to meet the due date. The job fails to meet the due date. Here maximum, what is the maximum? Maximum 0 or lateness 5. There is the tardiness will be for the job A 5. For the job A, tardiness is 5. More than 0, that's why we will be specifying over there the lateness, and fails to meet the due date. It is fails to meet 5 days. Like if we take a days, like for job B, tardiness also 5. For job C, tardiness 0. For job D, there is no tardiness, and for job E also there is no tardiness. With these examples, you will clearly knowing regarding all the notations in the single mission scheduling problem. And another concept, measure of performance. How we will measure the performance of single mission scheduling. Here we are mentioned some of the formulas like mean flow time. To find out the mean flow time, what is the formula? To find out the mean tardiness, what is the formula? To find out maximum flow time, what is the formula? What is the maximum tardiness, what is the formula? The number of tardy jobs, how we can be find out? We have a formula. Through these formulas we can be calculate, will be measure the single mission scheduling problem that has to be listed over here. For the mean flow time, F bar, mean means bar will comes. Mean flow time, F bar equal 1 by n, summation of j equal to 1 to n Fj. Here we have a list of formulas will be there. According to the formulas, we can calculate the single mission scheduling problem. And here some of the measures will be taken for shortest processing time rule to minimize mean flow time, weighted mean flow time, earliest due date rule to minimize the maximum lateness, SPT rule and EDD rule, and weighted mean flow time we will be calculating for some other next slide involves. Here shortest processing time rule. What is the meaning of shortest processing time rule? Shortest processing time rule is nothing but we have to be pair the jobs in the increasing order. First we will be specify the less value job, and then more than that one, and more than that one, and more than that one we will be specifying over there. And we will be made a shortest processing rule will be increasing order, less number to high number. And the time spent of a job is nothing but the flow time, and it will also called as a rapid around time, and also will be specified it's, and it means the f bar mean flow time. Shortest processing time rules will minimize the mean flow time. Shortest processing time rule will minimize the mean flow time. For this purpose only we will be calculating the short SPT rule. Here we will have an example of a problem. According to this problem we will have an idea how we can be calculate the mean flow time. Here the example: consider the following single machine scheduling problem. Jobs and processing times are given. 5 jobs are given and each job has a processing times. First job 15, second job 4, third job 5, fourth job 14, fifth job 8. Here they have given us find the optimal sequence with which will minimize mean flow time and also obtain the minimum mean flow time. Here we have a solution and also how we are calculating that we will see. Here we have a number of jobs. A number of jobs means n equal 5. Here we will be arranging the jobs with the SPT rule. SPT rules, what we specify SPT rule? SPT rule is nothing but we will be specifying processing times of jobs in increasing order. By looking the processing times, 4 is the very less, next 5, next 8, next 14, next 15. 4 is the processing time for the job 2, 5 is the processing time of job 3, 8 is the processing time of job 5, 14 is the processing time of job 4, 15 is the processing time of 1. There we will be arranging according to the SPT rule. When we will be arranging the SPT rule according to the SPT rule, what is the purpose for there? To minimize the mean flow time. To minimize the mean flow time. Here we will have a sequence. This sequence will minimize the mean flow time. According to this process, we will be process means the processing time will minimizes. Here we have the computation of f bar. F bar means mean flow time, and what we are arranged according to the SPT rule, that has to be here, and we will be find out the completion time. For second job, the has 4 is the processing time, that is the 4. And for the third job has the processing time is 5. Already mission processed 4 minutes, plus for completion of the third job it takes 5 minutes. That's why 5 plus 4 equal 9. And for completion of fifth job, the processing time is 8. Already second job, third job is completed with the time of 9 minutes or 9 hours. For completion of fifth job is 8. 9 plus 8, 17. And the same way fourth job 14 is there. Before the 3 jobs has taken 17 minutes or 17 hours. Now 14 hours is there. 14 hours or 14 minutes is there. 17 plus 14 is 31. The same way we will be calculating the completion time of each and every job. And mean flow time we will be find out with the help of the formula. What is the formula? The formula is f bar equal to 1 by n summation of j equal to 1 to n fj. According to that formula we will be calculating over here. 1 by n. 1 by n means number of jobs. 1 by n, number of jobs is 5. 1 by 5 summation of j equal to 1 to n means j equal to 1 to 5 fj. Fj means completion times. Okay, 1 by 5, 4 plus 9 plus 17 plus 31 plus 46. 1 by 5 into 107 equal 21.4 hours. Therefore, the optimal mean flow time is 21.4 hours. Optimal sequence is 2 to 3, 3 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 1. It is the shortest processing time rule to minimize the mean flow time. And next one is weighted mean flow time. In the weighted mean flow time, sometimes the jobs in a single machine scheduling problem will not have any equal importance on that particular situation. We have to be assigned the weights for the jobs. In this, mean flow time which compute after considering of weights is called weighted mean flow time. The weighted mean flow time we have to find out with the help of the formula like F bar W equal to summation of j equal to 1 to n wj fj upon summation of j equal to 1 to n wj. Here we will be have a rule like WSPT rule. Here shortest processing time rule. Before we will be thought about shortest processing time rule. Here we are not we are including the weights. That's why weighted shortest processing time rule we will be implement over there for made the some decrease value of decrease to minimize the value of mean flow time. And the calculation has to be taken with the help of example. Here one problem is given us with the weights. Here they are given to us to determine the sequence which will minimize the weighted mean flow time of the above problem. Also find out the weighted mean flow time. How we can find out? We will see here. Actually, they have given us jobs processing time weights, and here we have to be find out the weighted shortest processing time rule order. For finding of weighted shortest processing time, in the above table, how we will be find out means time processing time by weights, 15 by 1, 4 by 2, 5 by 1, 14 by 2, 8 by 3, like that we have to calculate it. And we will be arranging the sequence of WSPT rule. Weighted mean why we are here including weights means to determine some situations is not possible. That's why we will be included here weights. According to that, which one will have a less weighted processing time? Second job. Next one is the fifth job. Next one is the third job. Next one is the fourth job. Next one is the first job. According to that, 2 to 5, 5 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 1 is the optimal sequence which will minimize the weighted mean flow time. For calculation of F bar W, same way we will be having job 2 is the less weighted time and job 5 is the less time. According to that, we will be having with the sequence 2, 5, 3, 4, 1. We are writing here 2, 5, 3, 4, 1 and time of that particular jobs we are writing here, and the same way we will be calculating the flow time. In the flow time, how we are calculating means the process how it will take. First mission, first job completion, it has to take 4 minutes. The second job for completion of second job, it has to take 4 minutes. The time is 4. And fifth job 8 minutes, 4 plus 8 12 minutes, and third job 5 plus 12 17, fourth job 14 plus 17 31. First job already 31 minutes has to be taken for before 4 jobs, and first job 15 minutes is there, 15 plus 31 46. And weights, here we will be write the same as they given us 2 3 1 2 for each and every job how they are assigned weights. And then we will be calculating F into W. Why we will be calculating F into W means Here we have a formula, mean flow time equal to weighted mean flow time equal to summation of j equal to 1 to n fj wj by summation of I equal to 1 to n wj. For calculation of the for easy calculation, we have to specifying over there f into w. F into w means 4 into weight, 4 into 2 8, 12 into 3 36, 17 into 1 17, 31 into 2 62, 41 into 1 46 into 1 46, sorry. And we will be calculating over there, and then we will be substituting all the values in the formula. 8 plus 36 plus 17 plus 62 plus 46 by 2 3 1 2 1, the weights. Summation, why we are giving means summation, they have given us a summation, that's why we are adding all these values. 169 by 9 equal 18 by 78 hours, it has to be taken. It is the weighted mean flow time calculation problem. And another problem is earliest due date rule to minimize the maximum lateness. Earliest due date EDD rule to minimize maximum lateness. The lateness of job is defined difference between the completion time and due date. Already we know this one. Lateness is the completion time, the difference between the completion time and due date. Already we know. The maximum lateness and the maximum job tardiness are minimized by the earliest due date sequencing. By evaluating of the EDD rule, we will be maximize the job lateness and minimize the job tardiness. In single machine scheduling problem, sequence of jobs is increasing order, due date is known as earliest due date rule. In single machine scheduling problem, sequence of jobs in increasing order of due date is known as the earliest due date rule. Already we know this one. And for considering here one example, they given us 6 job has processing time, and also they will give us a due dates, and they are asking us to find out determine the sequence which will minimize the maximum lateness, and also determine the lateness with respect to the optimal sequence. Here we have a solution according to the EDD rule. EDD rule have an what will have as an EDD rule? We will be specify the processing times of jobs in increasing order. In the processing time, which job has less? 7 is the processing time, is less processing time for the job 4. Job 4. Here is the mistake they have been given us, and will be considered 8 and 8, and 8 is the second job is there, third job is there, anyone you can take 2 or 3, and next job is 10, next 12, next 15 is the sixth job. They have given us a mistakenly here the calculation. Completion time CJ is first for completion of second job, he has taken 8 hours, that's why 8. Completion time of second job is 8. For completion of fourth job, already second job completed with 8 minutes, plus fourth job processing time is 7. 8 plus 7 15. The same way we will be calculating the completion time also, and they will be given us an due dates also. For fourth job 11, for second job 10, for third job 12. That's why that we will write here, and also we will be calculating the lateness. How we will be calculating the lateness? Completion time minus due date. Completion time minus due date. 8 minus 10 2, 15 minus 11 4, 23 minus 12 11, 33 minus 15 18, 45 18, 27 60, 25 35. The same way will be calculated. Here the maximum lateness how much is 35, and Value of maximum lateness, non-SIC EDD rules will also less than 35. Thank you one and all.